I should have known from the beginning. My husband, Ethan Hayes, the CEO of one of the biggest corporations in the city, had always been a private man. When we got married in secret, he convinced me it was for my own protection, to keep me away from the media's prying eyes. But how could I feel protected when every day his childhood friend, Olivia Carter, clung to him like a second shadow? Every gala, every press event, every board meeting, there she was, holding onto his arm, whispering in his ear, and gazing at him like he was her whole world. And the worst part? He let her. Whenever I voiced my concerns, he dismissed them with a tired sigh. "You're overreacting, Emily. If anything was going on between us, don't you think I would have been with her instead of you?" It was always the same excuse, as if simply marrying me meant I had no right to feel uncomfortable with the way Olivia behaved. And she knew exactly what she was doing. I had decided to surprise Ethan at his office one afternoon, bringing him lunch since he often forgot to eat. But when I arrived, Olivia was already there, sitting on his desk, laughing as she fed him sushi with chopsticks. "Emily," she gasped in mock surprise, her blue eyes wide with feigned innocence. "I didn't know you were coming. Ethan, why didn't you tell me?" Ethan straightened, looking between us. "She just dropped by," he said, as if that made it better. I swallowed down my irritation. "I thought you might be hungry." Before he could respond, Olivia slid off the desk and walked over to me, lowering her voice. "Oh, sweetheart, I know you're not used to our world, but Ethan and I have been doing this for years. We always have lunch together. It's our thing." I clenched my fists. "Emily," Ethan said with a warning tone, as if I was the one making a scene. I could only stare at him in disbelief. So he wasn't going to say anything. I didn't stay to argue. I left, and that night, when I tried to bring it up, he rolled his eyes. "You're making a big deal out of nothing," he said. "Leave and I have always been close. That's never going to change." The final straw came at a charity gala a few months later. I had spent hours preparing, wanting to look perfect by his side. But the moment we arrived, Olivia latched onto him like she was the one he had come with. Reporters swarmed them, taking photos as she leaned into his side, laughing at something he whispered. I was barely acknowledged. At one point, I stepped away to get some air. When I returned, I overheard Olivia speaking to one of the board members. "Emily doesn't understand Ethan like I do," she sighed dramatically. "She's so insecure. It's exhausting, honestly. I just wish she'd let him breathe." My heart pounded as I stepped forward. "What did you just say?" Olivia turned, feigning innocence. "Oh, Emily, you misunderstood enough," I snapped. "I'm done playing nice with you." Ethan appeared just as I said that, his expression darkening. "What's going on?" Olivia's lower lip trembled. I was just trying to defend you." "Ethan, Emily thinks I'm the problem, but I just want her to trust you." And just like that, he sided with her. "You need to stop this," he said to me, his voice low and firm. "I can't keep having this conversation." I stared at him, my chest aching. "So you'd rather believe her over me?" Ethan ran a hand through his hair. "You're acting paranoid." That was the moment I realized I would never win. Not against Olivia. So I stopped trying. If Ethan wanted to know what it felt like to lose me, I would make sure he did. I planned everything carefully. A staged car accident, a burned-out vehicle, a body that wasn't mine. The authorities ruled it a tragic accident. Emily Hayes was dead. And Ethan, he fell apart. At first, he refused to believe it. He spent days searching, demanding answers, calling every possible lead. His composed CEO image crumbled. He barely ate, barely slept. Olivia tried to comfort him, but for the first time, he pushed her away. "She's not dead," he kept muttering. "I'd feel it if she was." But as the days turned to weeks, the weight of my absence consumed him. Then one night, I received an anonymous email. It was from his assistant, a recording attached. Ethan was drunk, his voice slurred with misery. She was my everything. I thought if I kept her hidden, I could protect her. I didn't want the world to touch what was mine. I thought she'd always be there. A ragged breath, but I was a fool. I lost the one person who truly loved me, and now all I have is this emptiness. A tear slipped down my cheek. I could return, reveal the truth, but I didn't, because now he knew what it felt like to lose me.